If you are a real estate agent and you are tired of paying for ads that flat out don't work, cold calling, door knocking, all the same old stuff that just seems to be getting you stuck in a rut, well, this is the channel for you. We are three rockstar agents who have come together with over 50 plus years in the training and sales industry, and we are hoping to pass that knowledge on to you. So subscribe to the channel and get ready to learn. Let's get started.
With the people, all my peers and stuff. So thank you guys for being here. I'm excited to share what's working for me. And I think that's what you wanted me to share, Kathy. Is that right? Yeah.
So I
So
think we had talked about you were one of the things you're doing is home buyer and home seller
yeah.
classes. So yeah.
Yeah. So some of the things that are working for me, guys, and I hope that they work for you, is making sure you educate your clients, your potential clients, your prospects, your sphere. Everybody around you needs to know you as the expert when it comes to real estate. And so for me, one of the things that I've been doing, of course, I recently just started a team, and I have that team in Tennessee and Georgia and even in Florida, because some of my agents are licensed in Florida. And so what I started to do, and you can do this even without a team, is make sure you do those home buyers classes. Now, in the past, I've done home buyers classes, and I could not get people to come out, the physical classes. And even when I do them virtually, sometimes people wouldn't come out either, wouldn't come on the virtual things. So I don't know what it is for me, and I don't know if anybody else can agree to that. Has anybody else had a hard time getting people to home buyers classes? Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I only get a couple when I do them, but
Yeah, it's hard. And sometimes you feel like, hey, if the information goes out to that one or two, then it's still a blessing because that's all you need is one deal, right? But we really wanted more attendance. We want that. And so I began to do home buyers classes again because my team members, all the new agents, they hear about it and they say, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, I don't know. My experience hadn't been, too great with that. But then I began to look at it differently and then start doing it in a group setting. So as an agent that's now a team leader, I got my team members and all of us together collectively had committed to inviting maybe 20 or more people each. Okay. And then when you invite those 20 more people to your home buyers classes, and I would dare to say that you want to theme your home buyers classes. So the first one that we had, that was a super success, and we had over 25, 30 people to come. It was in Nashville, Tennessee. You want to find a venue that won't cost you a lot, hopefully won't cost you anything at all. And we found the police precinct, believe it or not. They had a training room for the policemen. They allow us to use it. So we did the North Precinct right off over there in, oh gosh, I can't think of it. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Find your precinct somewhere where it's not going to cost you anything, and then get your lenders, your title companies, your home inspectors. Get them to be the ones to fund the food and things that you don't want to share with your people, the refreshments and things like that. I'm admitting people into the room too. I see that it's coming
Oh,
up
we
on.
got you. You don't worry
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
And so you want to make sure you use them to fund whatever it is that you want to provide, whether it be gifts, and you can tell them to bring gifts. And so what I did with my team, each one of us committed to bring in at least three gifts, so we can do giveaways, we can ask questions throughout the process, and we themed this first one Mardi Gras because it was during the Mardi Gras season. So we made sure we ordered things off Oriental Trading. I have a big Mardi Gras sign that had Boss Moves Elite Group, which is the name of my team. We had someone that wanted to do a balloon bouquet, so all that theme was there, all the thematic things were there. We made sure that we had beads. I had beads left over from going to New Orleans, so I made sure I used those. So everybody that came in got beads. You had to wear beads. Some people are like, I don't want beads. I said, no, you got to wear beads. You got to wear beads today because I cannot take these beads back home. And so they obliged. And so we had our one thing for sure that we were pushing a lot were the grants that are out there. So if you have a lot of first time home buyers, you really want to make sure that you know about the grants. If you have those that have not saved properly, that have not, the credit may not be in place. So the grants can start as low as 620 credits sometimes, some of them 580, but most of them 620, 640. So know about the grant programs. Let's see, somebody else trying to get in. And yeah, and make sure you push that. So that was one of the main things we pushed. Like, do you know about the grants that are out here? We've got, if you got a 640, I got 700. I'm sorry, if you got a 640, I have 17,500 because Bank of America nationwide, guys, is giving $10,000 toward down payment and 7,500 towards closing costs. and that's Bank of America. So you can call your local Bank of America mortgage broker and lender, MLO, and ask them about their program. Not only that, but Wells Fargo as well. Now, these are census tract driven grants, but there are a lot of people that need that. And so for me, I know in the African American community, we don't have a lot of home buyers. Like we are the group have the lowest number of homeowners. And so I took that as a passion to help in my community in particular. And so I made this, God gave me an idea, and God gives y'all ideas, and you sit there and you don't write them down. So when God puts that thing in your spirit, no matter how silly it may seem to you, you be sure you make a note in your phone and you write it down somewhere and you make sure you apply what he just put in your spirit, because it's going to be different and unlike anything else. And so look at this. This is a boss buck. Okay. I created this boss buck. God gave me an idea to take George Washington face off, put mine on because I am literally giving away money. Okay, because I have access to the grants, I have access to the information. So put my face on here. Each one of my team members' faces went on their money. And if you can see closely, let's see, I'm gonna zoom in right here. It says Boss Moves Elite Group Boss Bucks. It has my information. Let me see. It has my QR code there. See, they can scan it, and it does say if you have a 640, I have $17,500. And so I'm handing these out. I just left a few of them at the gym. Is this not something that would grab your attention if you were, if you saw this anywhere, someone said, "Hey, I'm passing out free money. Are you a homeowner?" You're not? Oh my goodness, you got to know about the grants. And it may not be something that everybody needs. I did learn that there's some people out there that can pay cash for homes. I never grew up with that kind of money. Never, nobody in my circle had enough money to pay cash for a home, right? So in my head, everybody needs help, but that's not true. So I learned that even as I began to get into more luxury, in the luxury arena, I got someone sent me Ben Wallace, and I didn't know who Ben Wallace was, and he was buying a home, and I asked him, was he pre-approved? Can you believe that? I mean, so when I looked him up, he said, I'm not worried about pre-approval. I was like, well, we got to make sure we can afford what we're buying. So I learned to take my foot out my mouth and just not assume that everybody needs financing. Everybody doesn't. So I've started to teach my agents that you say, hey, how do you plan to make your purchase? Will you need financing, or will you be making your purchase with cash? But for those who do need financing, for those who don't really have that belief, this is where the grants really come in heavily and helps them out a lot. So I made sure that the lender that was a guest speaker at my Mardi Gras home buyers class, or our Mardi Gras home buyers class, was someone who was offering the grant. Okay. And so when I said that, y'all, I do believe that filled the room. Again, every agent they had to invite 20 people. And then when they invite those 20 people, we create an Eventbrite too. Because what happens with the Eventbrite, you can see who's signing up. Okay. And then you can give them a reminder. And then if they actually knew the person that they invited, I said, hey, I need their phone numbers. I want to be the one to call to confirm their attendance. So you want to have someone else to do that. Don't let it be you. Because if Ryan invited his friend, and his friend says, I'm coming. He told Ryan he was coming. And so the day before, he doesn't want to let Ryan down. He doesn't mind letting me down. I need that head count because I want to know who's coming to this thing. So I'm going to call them and say, hey, Ryan had you down on his guest list. We need to get a head count because we're getting our food and our seating and all our information and things together. Can we count on you to be there? And, oh my goodness, tell Ryan I can't be there. Or he doesn't want to tell Ryan that, but he will tell me. And so you want to have someone else to do your confirmation calls to confirm attendance. If you were to just put that event out there and you just assume these people are coming because they said they were coming, you're going to be sadly mistaken. That might not happen. You have to confirm attendance. And so that was the first one, guys. It was successful. I did a TikTok about it. I'm not sure. I know he gave me the opportunity to share my screen. I'm not sure if I can. Let me see if I can show you. Well, anyway, you want to make a big deal of every part. You want to make sure that from the time that you decide you're going to do that event, you want to be on Facebook. You want to be on TikTok. You want to make sure you put some good music to it. You put the Mardi Gras theme music to it. You're inviting every week. I told my team, you have to put this out there 3 times a week until the event actually happens. Then when the event happens, you want to capture even your decorating, getting the room together. You want to capture your the sign-in sheets. We had Boss Moves Elite Group sign-in sheets where they tell us more about their information. So you want to make sure you have all of that. We had little notebooks that we gave away. We had a gift table. We took videos of the food. Like I said, it was themed out, so with the beads and everything. And then you want to pull all that together into a TikTok video and put it out there. And make sure you hashtag homebuyers class. whatever state you're in. I'm a Nashville agent, Nashville realtor, Nashville real estate. All those hashtags makes a difference too, because you're going to show up when people look for those particular hashtags.
Tracy, while you're looking there, just curious, how far ahead did you start inviting people out?
So
2
you
weeks,
want to get
3 weeks? What'd you do?
a month.
A
You
month
want to get
out.
at least a month. Yeah, you want to start a month out. We are
Okay.
already planning our next one. I hope this comes up. Is this going to come up, y'all?
Looks
Come
like
up.
it.
It's
Okay.
loading.
So we're already planning our next one. And get this one, y'all. So God gave me this idea too, because again, he's imparting into you these different things. And sometimes we just think they're silly. They're not silly. They're going to take off. And so that was the idea. And I ran with it. And yeah, so you want to make a TikTok about everything. So here's a home buyer seminar we did in West Tennessee. So when it was a success for the Mardi Gras in Nashville, we said we're going to take it to West Tennessee. So let me show you this one. Find the most popular song. So, so it gives you an
Very cool.
idea how you want to do that.
Okay.
Yes, that's one we did, and we called it because it was in West. Yeah, it was in West Tennessee, so we call it the Wild Wild West Home Buyer Seminar. It was a theme. So what theme can you come up with? Because people want to be a part of the theme, and we start promoting that one a month in advance too. And let's see what else. Any questions on that? Okay.
While you're sharing your screen, and maybe you said this, I'm sitting here taking some notes on this stuff. Your QR code on those Boss
Yes.
Bucks or whatever whatever it was, where does that take you? Where does that go when somebody?
So my QR code on this one is the hi hello. So if you don't have the hi hello card, where is it over here? Yeah, mine is hi hello. But you all, I don't know if you're aware, but we do have one through KV Core that will take you to your KV Core website as well,
Right.
which is probably the smarter thing to do, to be honest with you, because it's going to automatically put them in your CRM. And then
Okay.
KV Core is going to take over. So AI is going to take over and go from there.
Okay.
All righty. So let's see. I want to find my one for the Mardi Gras. There it is. This is the advertisement. I'm not sure if this is going to be the actual one. That's my grandbaby. But yeah, so you want to advertise. You'll see there's like several times I advertised the Wild Wild West on my way to actually have an actual program. So let's see. Here it is.
How often are you doing these?
Is it
Tracy?
choppy? I'm sorry. I am doing these. Well, we just started, like this is the first one. I'm going to try to
Okay.
play it again if that's okay. Let's see here.
I love the theme idea. I mean, we've
Yeah, I
done
like the
buyer
theme,
seminars
yeah.
and seller seminars, but again, same thing, trying to get people to come out to them. We've had some that have done well, but some that, 3 or 4 people.
So you get the gist of it. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, and that video was horrible, you said?
No, it's good.
no, it
Can't
was
hear
good.
the sound, but that's
You can hear
okay.
the sound. Okay, sorry
okay.
about that. But yeah, so you want to try to create, things. And so the next thing that I'm going to do, just kind of give you an idea, you just want to make a big deal out of everything because people want to be a part of something that's fun, something that's, that sounds like it's going to be interesting, it's going to be enticing. You want to entice them in, and for the Wild Wild West, I told the team to do a video even, prior to it with something that, with a cowboy hat on, invite them prior to doing it. So you want to start, getting that out. We're getting ready to do one now. God gave me this idea too. And I was like, oh, God is so good. I love it. So he gave me the idea of doing a homeowners class. Now I've done a homeowners virtual seminar because a lot of times we do home buyers, but what about the homeowners out there and that may want to sell their house? So I did one last year, and I had about 6 people to get on a virtual one, and I got a listing, a $500,000 listing in Nashville from doing a home owner seminar, how to prepare your home for selling it, how to determine your home's value. Should I do a pre-inspection? Should I do an appraisal? What happens at the closing? Because a lot of people have bought their first home, but they've never sold one. So there's some homeowners that never sold. So my newest idea and what we got coming up in June is a homeowners high equity TEA. So we're going to be serving tea and we're going to be talking to them about what they can be doing with their equity. You know, did you realize you can probably take a portion of your equity, pull it out, and buy investment properties? You know, all these different things that they can do with their equity. Or is it time to sell? Because oftentimes people do stay in their homes too long, not realizing the tool that it is you want to move. I think people are moving now every, 7 to 10 years. And so take that equity and move into something else. So just tell them what their options are and the importance of when they do get into investing. I have an attorney come into this one. So it's going to be a lender to talk about, the different things they can do with their equity, but also have an attorney come in that's going to be talking about the importance of putting those new properties that you may be investing in into trust, LLCs. We're going to be talking about those type things. And so it's a home equity. The agents on the team have been told to wear their cute tea dresses and their fascinators. The clients have been told if they want to come in their pearls and their fascinators, they're welcome to join us too. But we are going to theme it out. We're going to have tea cakes. We're going to have cupcakes. We're going to have tea, for instance, like maybe 3 different types of teas, little sandwiches. I don't want a cucumber sandwich. I want some meat in mine, but that's what we're going to do. And so that was an idea that was given to me in the middle of the night, or yeah. So run with those ideas for sure. Any questions on how to even get that going?
Right, the one thing that comes to mind, and you may not, depending how long your seminar is, but another thing that people, if they're investment properties, right, and it may be a separate seminar for this, but how do you do the 1031 exchange, right? Selling, maybe you sell your investment property, buy 2 properties. How do you build the wealth through home ownership, right?
That's it. Absolutely. I love that. And I do want the attorney to talk about 1031 as well. So all those things are going to be out there. Now you tell me as a homeowner, if it's your first home and you're trying to figure out, what do I do next? I really want to move, but I don't even know the steps. We're so busy with the home buyers that we forget about the home sellers and the homeowners, and we want to be listing agents, right? So if we want to be listing agents, this is a great way to probably tap into that market and to get those listings.
Do you do most of the speaking at like some of the, I mean, obviously you're getting a lender to come in on the buyer seminar, talk about their different programs, answer questions for the buyers and stuff. I think the homeowner, the thing I like about that one is probably going to lead to a lot of those people are going to sell, but then they're also going to buy. It's going to lead to 2 deals depending on that one. More so, I think, probably than the home buyer, which is typically going to be first time buyers. But you said you bring in an attorney like to speak on this one, talking about the equity and how they could use that. Who else do you have speaking like at those events? Is it you primarily, or is it who else are you bringing in?
So for the high equity, it's going to be a lender to talk about HELOCs, 1031, whatever. And then we're going to have the attorney. And then this will be my first time doing high equity, to talk about high equity and things like that. So I only actually just do the opening, the welcome. I try to incorporate my team to come up and do some things, whether, someone like we had Carmen to talk on credit tips. We have Kim to talk about what happens at the closing table. I want to incorporate them because I want them to get used to talking in front of people, because God is going to take them to leadership. So leadership, you have to start grooming people into that. They'll have their own teams at some point. And so that's the whole reason for that. But yes, we all try to speak. I try to incorporate them, even if they're the ones that's going to come up in between these little breaks and stuff, or questions with the Q&As, with the gifts and things like that. I'll have a team member come up. Okay, it's gift time. We're getting ready to do a giveaway. So who has a question? Jeff just gave some information on 1031 exchange. Who tell me something that you just learned about 1031 exchange. The first people that pop up, we give them gifts. And again, don't forget the team members are bringing 3 to 5 gifts themselves that we're giving away, whether it be Chick-fil-A cards. But here's the thing that I do love about my team and how we do it. We make sure that everybody leaves with a gift, because if you got 16 members and y'all bring in 3 to 5 gifts each, and there's 25 people, everybody gets a gift. See? And so when we were done, and my team members, I see a few on here, when we were done, they were all asking when we're going to do the next one. Like they just couldn't wait. Like, how often are y'all going to do it? When is the next one? I'm going to invite my cousin, my friend, my family. And they're excited about it. They really are. Kim, do you want to speak on it? Kim, my team member's on here. I don't know if she's working. She may be working full time over there. Do you want to speak on the home buyers classes and the things that
I
we
am.
just
Good morning, everyone. So yes, it was amazing. And you Tracy has a way that she'll start off, and everyone in the room is made comfortable from the beginning. It's not something that we have to work to get people comfortable. And by us doing that, the questions that come, sometimes we will ask the question to kind of generate the conversations, but it's always a great time. And so I was a part of it, and I can't wait for the next one myself. So it's always a great time, and just to see people wanting to learn, wanting to, even if they're not quite ready right now, but at least to show up. Sometimes that's the first step, if we can get people to show up. And so, thus I've been a part of two, and both of them have been great turnout. So that's what I would say. It's just the motivation that we bring. I think that's a big part of the hurdle, Tracy.
Right. And so Kim actually was a big organizer for the one in West Tennessee, because I'm not in West Tennessee. I'm in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, and my license started in Nashville, Tennessee. And then West Tennessee is actually my hometown. So you don't want to forget your hometown. So I knew I had hometown connections. So Kim was able to get the Old Country Store, which is a landmarker place in Jackson, Tennessee. So everybody likes to stop and eat there. So that's why the food and everything was a part of it. And we had our a closing attorney in Jackson, Tennessee. He paid for all the food. We had a home inspector to come in and put in a portion of the money for the things that we needed. And it was just a major success. So you don't have to pay for anything. It's just all about getting it organized, get the participation. And then for you who don't have a team, find an agent that you like. And it's important that it's the agent that you like, so y'all can be on the same page. Personality, energy is everything. So you don't want somebody that's just, motivated by the money. You want somebody that truly has a heart for the people. And you team up with other agents in your city. Hopefully, we're EXP mostly. But if you team up, you definitely need to team with the same brokerage. I will say that. So you team up with another EXP agent in your area, maybe 4 or 5 of y'all, because it really does take that many to get about 20 people in the room. It takes about 4 or 5 agents, all inviting on a heavy, because only what 10% of what you expect comes out. So yeah.
I just want to emphasize too, I think there's a lot of newer agents on here, or agents just getting started with things, whatever. But again, the fact that you can get this paid for. This does not have to be a big expense out of your pocket. Partner up with a lender, with an inspector, with a roofer. There's so many different people that could come in, and you give them maybe a table to set up their stuff, and give them, 5 minutes up in front of the room to talk about what they do and how they do it or whatever. They might even be a presenter, depending on what kind of seminar you're doing,
Yes.
for 15, 20 minutes. But you can get this all paid for.
That's it.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, it's a great idea. Sandra, is it Sandra? Did you have a question? I'm sorry, I saw you raise your hand there a minute ago.
Tracy, I wish I could remember my question. Are these are you having the high tea at the police precinct? I love that idea.
Yes.
Our fire department, police precinct. Are the lenders, Bank of America and Wells Fargo's, they, different banks have different criteria for the HELOC. Are you
Yes.
bringing those lenders over to your high tea, or are you kind of working with a bunch of different lenders to spread the love there?
So I don't like to have competition at my events. So when I choose that lender, it's probably a lender I've already worked with, and they are the lender for that event. So they have to cover all those. And I make sure that they can cover those subject matters too. Can you talk about HELOC? Are you confident there, and things like that? So I usually don't choose one person in each arena. So if I have a lender, is one lender. If I have a home inspector, it's going to be one. If it's going to be insurance, homeowners insurance, is going to be one. And so yeah, you just want to deal with one. Give them that platform, and they pay, because a lot of these events they cost less than $500 unless you want to make it super fancy. But I tell them at minimum you have to bring in, depends on what I need. If it's how many speakers it is, I'm going to divide it by those 3 and tell them what I need from them. I need 150 from you. I need $200 from you. I need, whatever your event is, and they're willing to pay. Now, as Jeff did say, that's a good point. If you're a new agent and you've not done any business, sometimes they're a little bit reluctant to sponsor. But if you can tell them that you're going to fill that room up, and you want to make sure you can at least do that, we should be able to have enough influence to fill the room up. If there's 5 of us each bringing people, then they will come, and they'll don't ask for a major amount. Like try your best to keep the expenses low. I don't know too many that wouldn't do at least $100. So you got 3 people bringing you $100 each. That's $300. That's enough to cover your donuts, your refreshments, even if it's a coffee and conversation. And if you don't have ideas, then yes, give me a call. I'll put my information out there, but give me a call and I'll give you some ideas because I am, God does really drop this. It seems to drop it in my spirit, like different little fun ways to theme stuff. We're going to have a wind down something here in Atlanta. I think Ryan is out there looking for a place for us to do our tea here in Atlanta, but we plan to do one here in June as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. So now July is coming. So what are we going to do for July? You always got to think ahead and get prepared. Because all this gets transactions, by the way. We have how many from the home buyer seminar, and Kim, if you have any numbers, let me know. But the home buyer seminar in West Tennessee, I don't know how many home buyers we got from that. I left that with Kim and my brother, who both service the West Tennessee area. But in Nashville, from that home buyer seminar, man, we got at least 3 or 4 different people totally pre-approved and closing this month, if not next month.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
good stuff, really good stuff, good turnout. For July, Kim, did you have any numbers for any results from the people that came in Jackson just yet?
We don't have anyone under contract just yet, but we have 2 or 3 that's now going through the, you
Application.
know, sounds promising.
Yes. Good,
Good.
good, 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 good. And so with July coming, what I did last July, in honor of, 4th of July, you want to get out here early. I went to Amazon and I bought these flags that were big enough and sturdy enough to be put in the front yard. And so I went around and I had this little flyer made, and you can get everything's on Canva. Thank God EXP gives us Canva for free.
Yeah.
You look up, yeah, you just can't beat that. Canva Pro. If you don't know how to do it, call your teenager in. They know everything. They know everything. Please use your teenagers. They know everything. And sometimes they give you a little attitude, but just pay them something. I don't know. But anyway, I got a flyer made the 4th of July, and it said, in honor of the 4th of July, I love to see the neighborhood totally filled with these flags. And so I'm leaving you one of my flags. If you have any real estate needs, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. It was something like that. But I put my real estate needs thing very small. My whole goal was to honor the 4th of July and patriotism and things like that. And so I went around, I put it in my whole neighborhood for sure, went around to the neighboring neighborhoods and subdivisions as much as I could. I think I put it out there on 300 doors. To get up that next morning on the 4th of July, I said, on the 4th of July, please put these flags out, at your mailbox. To get up and see about 100 flags out, y'all. It just touched my heart because at least I know they got my card, they got my advertisement, and so they at least know about me. The thing is, exposure is everything. And another thing that you want to know too, because sometimes people do that. They do all their work, they knock on doors, and they feel like this is all just dung, like it didn't, nothing ever happened, nothing happened. God sees it all. So you got to understand, I'm a Christian, so you'll hear me talk about him often. You got to, sometimes you'll sow in the east and the blessing will come from the west because God see you out there working. So you got to understand, when you're tilling the ground, you may not get it over here, but you'll get it somewhere else. And so he honors the fact that you really have that faith. Hey God, I'm out here, I'm doing everything that I can. And so I always say the man's extremity is God's opportunity. A lot of times we're not doing all we can. A lot of times we're not doing all. We're hoping for businesses just pop in our hands. We're not even getting on these calls. These calls have been absolutely amazing. Like I don't miss them. Tuesday morning is me and my calls. I'm going to get on this call. I'm going to get on Jay's call, and I'm going to get that information because that's the least that I can do is have the information. Now, after that, you have to apply the knowledge that you got. We are so blessed to get all this knowledge for free. I remember paying for Sean Kokosa. And he was amazing. I love it. That was my first coach that I paid for. And as a new agent, I remember saying, "Oh my God, I'm paying $300 for somebody to coach me." That was nothing for what I got. You know what I mean? He totally shaped my whole career at the beginning. And then we get this all the time. So don't miss these calls, that's for sure. But you can get those flags that I was speaking of on Amazon, get them like 100. Get a bag of 100. They weren't really expensive. I want to say it was 100 for like $40. Make sure you look at the reviews. I don't buy anything on Amazon without making sure that a lot of people already bought it and it's got good reviews. Got to see a lot of people buying it. Any questions on that? How you can really take that to the next level?
I think there's so many ideas based on that was my first thought was July 4th coming. Like, so
Yeah.
here's what do something around July 4th, do some sort of event, do some sort of you could do a client event, you could do a seminar, but use that 4th of July theme,
Yes.
and do it like that weekend before or after or whatever, and start planning that now. One of the things I want to emphasize to people too, I think like anything, the first one you do is going to take more work because
Yes.
you're organizing it all. But now you get into a routine. Now there's just a checklist. here's what I got to do. It's like, so the next one is that much easier, and the next one's that much easier. And if
Right.
you can partner up with an agent, or if you do have a team, get a couple agents working with you, and to put
Hmm.
something like this together.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places you can get rooms for free. There's some
Yeah.
restaurants that have private rooms and they'll let you use it if they're going to order some food and that kind of stuff. Or our local libraries all have
Yes.
rooms and those are free. And you do one
Yes.
there, and they'll let you bring in stuff. If they know ahead of time. There's just ways you can do it. Again, very little expense, but get in
Yes.
that routine of doing it and put in 15, 20, 25 people coming into each one of these home sellers, home buyers. I mean, and again, if it's all being paid for by your
Yes.
sponsors, it's like, man, get 3 or 4 deals per event. Think about what that could do for you.
Yes. Yes.
You
And the
know?
sponsors like to see their faces on those flyers too. So they know now their face, because had they not teamed up with me to be my guest speaker, then their face wouldn't be all over social media because they don't know anything. Like nobody knows my guy, Julian. I can't say nobody knows him, but he doesn't do a whole lot of social media. My preferred inspector. But now that I got him out there, he's getting more business. And when I tell you Julian would do anything for me, he always talks about how Tracy really put me on the map. Nobody even knew me. And the same thing. So that alone should get them to go ahead and finance your event or give, pay for it. They don't have a
You're
problem.
giving them all free advertising. A thought that comes to mind, I saw this morning from some age, I think just somewhere on social media, but a thing that's coming to my mind for your seminars, when maybe it's a month, it's not a theme month like a 4th of July, but this girl had, and we've all seen this, and we've been around for a while, but those popcorn bags, and she just had a label on it, and I think she was doing it in the farm area, and she was like, hey, just pop it. The label said popping by to introduce myself.
Yes.
But what I was thinking about with yours is, imagine if you're going to like apartment buildings, if you can get by with this. Sometimes they don't like you soliciting and dropping things off, but like just popping by to invite you to our next home buyer seminar,
Yeah.
right? Like
Absolutely.
I love just those little trinket ideas, like the flags and like that popcorn with something cute on there, a label that says popping by,
Yeah.
to invite you to our next home buyer webinar.
Right, right. My neighbor next door, I'll crack up because her flag is still out there. And I'm like, girl, you gotta throw this flag away because I'm bringing you another one this year. She
Um,
still has her flag out, and a few people still have their flag out because they hung it,
Well, yesterday was Memorial Day, so
Yeah,
there's a
so
flag for that. Perfect. Yep.
yeah, yeah, no, it's been there all winter and everything. Like I'm looking at the
Oh,
same flag. And then it's so funny because our maintenance guys, our lawn guys, they don't even move it. I'm like, this is so hilarious. I'm fixing to bring her a new flag, but it's okay. I'm excited about it. Yeah, so those are some of
Tracy,
the things.
with
Mhm.
these, and obviously, I love the live event better than a virtual one. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
more you can do with it. Definitely more fun. I mean, watching
Yeah.
those videos and stuff, I could see like, shoot, the food. I'd come for the food. But anyway, just out of curiosity, have you done virtual events? Have you done Zoom events like even
Yes.
like what we're on right now, like the same
Yes.
kind of thing? Yeah. Because
Yes. Yes.
another way to do it, how is there much different with that? Obviously, you're not doing. I don't know. What do you do with something like that? How do you prepare those?
So when it comes to like I've done Zoom events, training and stuff for my team, but now when it comes to like home buyer seminars and homeowner seminars, I was shocked at the attendance I got on the homeowner seminar because I ended up with maybe about 5 people that got on that were homeowners, and that was my first time. I'm like, I'm just going to test this out, and so like I said, I got a $500,000 listing from it. So yeah, you do the same thing. You have a guest speaker. You tell the speaker, yeah, your camera has to be on, and then you give them the sharing ability, and so they flip through their slides and stuff, and then you answer any questions. It was a nice seminar, and it got a client from it. So are they as successful? Like I said in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of success for virtual or in-person home owner seminar, but I found that I found that I didn't advertise it the same. I'm able to put out. Back then, we didn't do a lot of Canva. So now you got the faces and the pictures, and you tell your people that are your guest speakers, I need you to push this as well. You need to tell people, share this on your page, and you share it. And now we have so much. We have the leverage because we can now join all these groups, and so I can join Nashville, what's happening in Nashville, and I send it out, and even what's happening in Jackson, Tennessee. I join those groups, and I put that same flyer out to all these different groups too, because exposure is everything. You have got to get the information out there. And then for West Tennessee, we were a little bit nervous. I remember about this one because we hadn't done one in West Tennessee. We wasn't sure if they were going to be receptive. You find that some people, I hate to say this, but even a lot of people are nervous about EXP in West Tennessee because you got these small towns And I remember being the first one to bring EXP, one of the first ones to bring EXP to West Tennessee. And I put my sign out there, and there was somebody on the radio. They had a whole radio show about this gal that was coming down to Jackson, Tennessee with this EXP company. And, they don't have an office and all this old crazy stuff. And she did not know that was my hometown. So we weren't sure if West Tennessee was going to receive us. And so what we did, we made sure that we looked up people on Facebook that were from Jackson, Tennessee, and we got in their inboxes and said, "Hey, I want to personally invite you to this event. Are you a homeowner?" And so those are things that helped us as well. So your whole goal is, how many people can I get in front of? It's not so much as get their yes, but getting their attention, getting their eyes. Now they know who Boss Moves Elite Group is. Now they know who EXP is. Now they know that they have someone that's out there that's wanting to help them buy a home. So exposure is everything. If I can't stress that enough.
I mean, I can see all the stuff you're learning with these live ones. I mean, you could turn it in. I think there's so many ways to do a virtual one as well.
Oh, yes.
Whatever, with a speaker, with a 3 weeks notice or something, posting in those different groups kind of thing. I think, one of the things it makes me think about too, Casey Anderson, when she came in here a couple of months ago, she's the agent in Florida that did the 8 million in volume in her first 6 months,
Awesome.
52 million her second year. I mean, if you haven't seen that training, definitely watch that training. That was phenomenal. I'll put the link in the chat here so you can see it. But she talked about the giveaways that she does. Like she'll get $100 gift card to Publix, which is the grocery stores down there in Florida. And for everybody that comes, and she'll do a drawing, and she goes live on Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff after her open house that she does. And she's had 40, 50 people through her open house, and she'll do this giveaway. And it seems like you can almost, even incorporate something like that into one of these events for everybody that comes. You're getting an entry, whatever, even virtually. And you could do the drawing right there at the end of the event, virtually on there, and give away a $100 gift card or $50 gift card.
Yes. Yes. I think
People
even
will
on
respond to that kind of stuff.
they do. I think on one of our events, we said everyone leaves with a gift. I think that's what we did on one of ours. Everyone,
awesome.
So that makes them leave too. They're like, okay, we're coming in because we know we're going to leave with something.
Yeah,
So that was one. Another way, a great way to get some business, and I don't know if we're over time. No, we're still,
you're good. You're good.
I've gotten a lot of listings and even close to listings. They're in the pipeline from HomeLight. Don't forget HomeLight. They have really been wearing me out lately. And then Veterans United. We just got off the call and talked about how Veterans United is helping a lot of people as well. So if you don't know about those platforms, definitely sign up to become a preferred agent with those two. And then for me, I like Realty Store. I'm not sure if people have heard of Realty Store, but you pay per zip code. And I found it to be one of the most inexpensive ways for lead generation. So you just choose a zip code. And when you choose a zip code, you want to be in position 1 or 2. Because they have like 5 positions, I want to say, in every zip code. And so you want to be in position 1 or 2, because otherwise, think about it, it's got to go down to all these people. You'll never get these leads, because what agent that's not hungry is not going to answer, when they get to the first 2. So you want to be in position 1 or 2 when you choose a zip code. And so I get a lot of leads from Realty Store. And then when you call these leads, you got to know that a good 90% may not be good, but you got to work your way through the 10%. So don't give up, don't get discouraged and say, oh, these people. But what I do value about Realty Store is that at least they answer the phone. These are real people. Like, it's their number. They're answering the phone. You know what I mean? I've had a few people say, don't call me. And I automatically put them into our KV Core amazing system. I hope you're taking advantage of. Automatically put them in KV Core, and the AI takes over. And some of them like, hey, you got to stop texting me. I'm like, hey, it's not me texting you. You got to stop texting me. I'm at work. And so it's so funny how our system really does kick in and looks out for us when we're busy. It's going to jump in and speak and talk for you. Yeah. Any questions on that?
I actually love my Realty Store stuff too. It's getting me good leads too.
Yes. Anybody heard of that, Realty Store?
Sure.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Veterans United and HomeLight, you said?
Yes, HomeLight. 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 Now, I'm not gonna say HomeLight's gonna be amazing in everybody's area, but lately in Atlanta, it's been really kicking. It's been kicking butt. Veterans United has not always been great for me in my area, but I'm gonna go back again and just kind of tap back into it and see what's happening, because one of our amazing agents out of West Virginia, Charlene Burr, she's having amazing success. I think I may have heard Daryl DC Clark say he's having success. I don't know. There's some of them that are. Anybody having success from Veterans United? Okay, it's an awesome platform as well.
Guys, see real quick back on the on your homeowners classes and home buyer. Have you found that a certain day and time works better than others? Have you tested that?
So I haven't tested that. I've always chose to do mine on a Saturday morning. Also, you don't want to give a time frame. Thank you for that question. You want to just give a start time because if you give people a time frame, they think they can show up between that frame because you want everybody to be there on time. So we'll put 11 o'clock sharp, knowing that our time frame is going to be from 11 till, let's say, 12 to 1, usually 2 hours. You're going to do 2 hours. So you're going to start with your introduction. You're going to tell them what's going to be happening. Then you're going to have your speaker to come up. And I give the lender a lot of time because the Q&A is just, we had for our Mardi Gras, they had so many questions. And when you got questions, you got clients coming. They had a lot of questions and they wanted clarity. And then some of them probably wanted gifts, but they had a lot of questions. Yeah, so 11 o'clock on Saturdays has worked for me. It's not too early. It's not too late. Gives people that time to sleep in a little bit, and still give them time to get out and go do whatever they want for the day. So I know it's 11 to 1, but I put on the invitation 11 sharp. 11 sharp.
Good.
And we do on time drawing too. The first 3 on time people. So we do that as well.
That's
Yeah.
all good stuff. I always do my seminars and stuff during the week.
Okay.
After 6 o'clock, between 6 and 8 or 7 and 9 or something like that. And I tend to have on average about 4 couples there. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but yeah.
And Ryan got the blessing of being able to connect with an apartment complex. And I was telling him that is really amazing because, like you said earlier, oftentimes their whole goal is to keep people renting. So they don't want an agent to come in there
That's right.
and tell them about
There
how
you
much
go.
the home ownership would do for them. But Ryan had a friend that worked for the apartment complex. So if you know someone that's a friend, they may get you in there, knowing it may break their little rules or whatever, but they may get you in there after hours to talk to the people that are not renewing their lease. And so I know Ryan told me this specifically. He was saying, listen, I'm not trying to take your business as far as your tenants, but I do want to speak to the people that already have told you that they're not going to renew. So
Exactly. And
tell
then
them
I
more
ended up
about
speaking to
it.
my other stylist, and it's grown now from 1 apartment complex to 3, and one of the 3 has multiple properties. So if it goes well for this other one, then there could be a snowball effect, that I may get more, cooperation with it. But yeah, it's literally just a conversation, and it's never been done before. So everybody's like, I don't know, I'm open to it. And if you present it well, then there's opportunity there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here thinking now about how you could tell them that, like maybe, I don't know, maybe there's maybe well, I can't say that. I was thinking about a charge and they could take what they owe for every closing. Maybe you can give back a little bit, something like in a charitable way. So it could be for rental assistance. Like, in my church, I know there's like rental assistance for people and we have a benevolent offering. And so there's this money can be set aside for people that do run into hard times. You know what I mean? I don't know if an apartment complex, I know that's a whole different ball game right there, a whole different can of worms. But I was just sitting here thinking that
But
that
that's
might be
amazing.
something. Yeah, you know what I mean? For every closing, I give back 1% for your people that are struggling in your apartment complex with their rent.
Yeah, because right now all I'm doing is contributing more to their community events and stuff with the closings, and doing videos and stuff for their websites for people who we actually do get to the closing table. So that's something else that we could possibly do that'll be more of a heartfelt kind of community centered kind of approach. I love that, Tracy.
Right. And it can even not be tied to the apartment complex. Maybe it can be, Ryan's Heart. Ryan's Heart is a realtor over here. And so you can go and apply when people say they have issues, have the apartment complex to point them back to you because Ryan's Heart is a foundation that helps people that need rental assistance. I'm just sitting there thinking,
I
see, these are
love that. I
not just
love that.
drop.
That's like creating a foundation. I
Yes,
love that.
It's
that's
really
it.
good. It's a great idea.
Isn't that a great idea? I'm sitting there thinking,
Yeah.
just downloading, and he does this. I mean, if you don't get downloads from God, I say definitely get closer, create that relationship because He's our Maker, and I'm telling you, He will drop those things. And if you're not getting those, that means your communion with Him is not where it could be. And I know that's a whole different ball game, but I get a lot of information from Him.
I do think something about like giving back, like
Yes,
in Ryan's
Yeah.
case, like the apartment complex, give back in some way to them, make it a win for them in some way, like
yes,
how much more they'll want to cooperate with you,
that's it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys? This is some great stuff here.
Can I say
Thoughts,
something
ideas? Yes, go
really?
ahead, Taylor. Yep.
Yeah, this is Taylor in Georgia. So, just listening to what you said as far as like giving back, I would even go so far as to do this, Ryan, is just to you take whatever percentage you choose to put to the side, and then you personally have them say, hey, if you have someone that is in need of rental assistance, then you can be that contact. So that way, these people are coming to you directly.
Yeah.
You are building that relationship with them directly. It's not per se through the apartment complex, but the apartment complex also benefits because they're getting their money as well. You're building a relationship with those tenants. So maybe they're not looking to buy this year, but they'll always remember that you came in and that, this realtor, he came in and he helped me when I really needed it. And then that can also be your way in to help get them the financing, get them on that track to financing and things like that. But yeah, so I think that's an awesome idea. I love it.
Yep, yep. Because I know that's what I was just saying that, Ryan's Heart, he could create a whole foundation that doesn't have anything to do with the apartment complex. That's a whole different ball game when the apartment complex has to come up with a, what, 501(c). I don't know how to do any of that stuff. But yeah, that's a whole different can of worms. He could do it.
Yeah,
You
I
could do
have a
it.
501(c)(3) already, but it's not tied to real estate.
Yeah, yeah. And then I'm sitting here thinking like someone may have just said this too. You say you're helping them with their events. So a certain portion of those that, yeah, it goes to a community event. So who wouldn't want that? I mean, like now your apartment complex looks like the happening place. We do pool parties. Ryan's Heart comes and does pool parties and things like that. But all that money comes from those who were confident that they weren't going to re-sign that lease and they purchased a home from you. So you got to make it a win-win for sure because otherwise, yeah, I told Ryan, I don't know how he got in, but I know it came through the friends of. You're welcome, Tim.
Tracy, have you thought about? I'm thinking here off the top of my head. Have you thought about doing any kind of like home buyer seminar, partnering up with a builder, like with the new
Yeah, I was
construction?
thinking
Yeah,
that.
so there's a
Because
builder.
of what's going on with new construction right now, and so many incentives that they're offering, and things that they're doing, and
Yeah,
price things that they're doing, all kinds of stuff to do some sort of a Saturday type of event, at a new construction property. I don't
yes.
know. I'm just
Yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing. There are some companies out there that have offered that, and then some of them don't because they have their listing agent. But I think Meritage Homes for sure. If you guys know of Meritage Homes in Georgia and I know they're in Georgia and Tennessee, they told us that if once we sell one home, we can even come in there and do open houses. So, but they don't mind you using their model home for a class, whether it be a CE class or a home buyers class, and as long as it's centered around them and they can have their little talk, absolutely, that's a great idea, Jeff. I
I
mean,
just think something with that, could be really
yes.
powerful.
Yes, I mean,
Again, with the
that's
builders,
awesome.
lenders, and stuff, get them in there. Same kind of thing.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
Yes, Taylor. So yeah, Meritage Home said if you sell one, they'll let you do open houses. Like you can do open houses at their communities. I thought that was pretty cool. But I definitely love that, Jeff, where I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. I mean, you could probably have your books filled every weekend and new constructions just by doing home buyers classes in there. They're always open to you using their home and they probably pay for everything. I mean, they have
they
some good
probably
Would,
would.
that's
They
right.
would. They
yeah, they'll
would
pay
pay
for
for it.
everything. That's awesome.
I didn't think about doing it with them, like in partnership with them, but I was thinking about because there's a lot of different places. You mentioned Bank of America, you mentioned Wells Fargo. There's a lot of first time homebuyer programs,
Mm,
and there's some specific to your state, right? There's some specific to your towns, your cities. So I would encourage, and that's one way that I built my business early on, is I got with a lot of different lenders and I called them and I wanted to know what are the programs that you have that are different than what everybody else is offering out there.
that's right.
And that because I knew so many different options, I was able in conversations with buyers to be able to say, look, this lender has this, right? Program. I think based on what you're telling me, they would be a great fit for you. But you got to know all the different programs. And so having said that, what I was thinking about, like when you're talking about like different options when you're doing your homebuyer seminar, it's look, A lot of builders right now, I've got a list of all the builders that are offering incentives right now. And so, and this is why if you're going out looking for a home and you look for new construction, this is why you want to use a realtor, right? That if you're not having that as part of your education, I would definitely do that. Because otherwise they just go into a model home and think I'll just buy the home directly, right? And so we get to educate them when we're having these home buyer seminars why even in new construction, it's important to have an agent representing them. But
That's
then
it.
I would also find out what all the local builder incentives are wherever I'm doing that home buyer seminar. And I'd be like, look, I got a one-page document here with all the builder incentives. So when you work with us, we're gonna, make sure you know about all of these.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I was just sitting here thinking, put that in something like a folder. Like I went and got me Boss Moves Elite Group folders. And now my team has folders, and you're able to hand this to that first time home buyer.
See,
Another
I
thing,
probably wouldn't give it all away. Like you got to have a reason for them to come back to you,
yeah,
right? So I'm going to tease them with a lot. I'm going to give them some, but I'm not going to give them everything
I get
because
it.
I want them to call me at the end of
Yeah,
the day,
yes,
right?
yes,
So like that builder info, I'm probably not going to put that. I'm personally probably not going to put that in a folder.
yeah,
I'm going to tell them, hey, I have that. And when we start looking, like we're going to make sure you
yeah,
know about all of these different builders, all the
yeah,
incentives they're looking at, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
But
Well,
yeah.
here's
And
what
it's
you do. You have a list of all the incentives, but you
yes,
don't give the builder, you don't
give
give
them
the
all the
neighborhood.
builders'
You just
names. That's right.
seriously, like
well,
here's the list. Here's all the
That's
different
right.
incentives available right
yeah,
now as of, June of
yeah,
2025.
Yeah, that's right.
Just a list, bullet
Yeah,
points,
right.
yeah.
They got to
My
come to you to
folders,
get the information.
They gotta
right,
yeah.
right.
Do
My
you,
folders only go to secured buyers. My folders go to secured buyers and secured sellers.
would
Yeah.
I
you,
get
would
what you
you,
guys are saying.
I got you, Tracy. She said
Yeah.
would you,
my phone
would
only
you,
go to the secured ones.
would
Mhm.
you
Brad, go ahead.
include, would you include some kind of a page on, whatever lenders might have available, down payment assistance, all that? Would you do a page on that as well?
Yeah. Well, he was saying that he would definitely show you all the incentives, but you'd have to come to them to get the information. Like if I say I have a program that's $10,000 down on your down payment, 7,500 to our closing costs, ask me questions about that one. I have a new construction community is doing $30,000 in incentives, allowing you to buy down your rate and do your down payment. He's saying name them all, but they
Right.
got to come back to you to get the
To
information.
get who they are.
Who
Yeah.
they are. Very
For
smart.
details, call Brad Carr at,
Right.
whatever. And
That's
just,
right.
they have to call you to get the information, the
And
direct
you
information.
yeah, you can put on his
And
website.
in that folder, you probably already do this, have the testimonials. We helped this client buy this home with
Yeah,
nothing down. We helped, a client buy a new construction home, got all her
right,
closing costs, all their closing costs paid for them.
right.
Right. Have some testimonials of some of these programs and what success stories you have for them.
Right, right. And then get your money. Show me, I'm showing you the
I
money.
love the money idea.
And,
That's so
and on the
good.
back, you can put $30,000 new construction, and they'll have to call you. Here's all the information. You can do it on the back. I mean, the ideas will keep coming, and I want to also say, for the grants, nobody wants to use their money if they don't have to, right? Like I don't care how much money I got. If there's somebody out there giving me something, I'll take it. Right? And so I have a girlfriend. These grants, these people can make up to like 130,000. These are six-figure people still getting the grants. I
Yeah.
have one girl, her grandfather left her $100,000 cash, and she put $100,000 down, but Wells Fargo still gave her that $10,000. So even home buyers, you get the $10,000. But if you're moving, if the seller is moving out of one of those census tract communities and into one that's not, they can still use the money too because they're moving out and into one that may not be in the census tract. So just let you know that these grants are something yeah, it's something that a lot of people could take advantage of no matter how much money they make. Yeah.
And there's a lot of those grants too. You mentioned, the census tract a few times, but there's a lot of these different grants that aren't tied just to that. Like
Yes.
people can buy anywhere,
Yes.
right? And still get incentives from a
Yes.
lot of these different grant programs. But then
Right.
there are those that are specific to, they're working to revitalize areas. And
Yes.
so they're giving more incentive for people to buy in those specific type areas.
Correct.
But that's where it really behooves us as realtors to really get with different lenders to find out different programs that they have that are not your normal programs out there. Like
Right.
everybody's offering the same normal program. What do you have that you're that's different from everybody else?
Right. Right. You know, when Ryan first came in, I told Ryan, we're gonna have lenders to take us out to lunch and tell us what they got. I mean,
100%.
Oh, and
they,
a bunch of them are quick to jump on that dinner opportunity or lunch opportunity.
we were
Yeah.
going to, we were doing lunching and learning, you know, because they are looking for business, you know. And the main thing also, don't be afraid to cut off. Well, I don't think I have to tell you guys this, but don't be afraid to cut off the lender that doesn't have great communication. You know, a lot of them sell themselves high. They start out with an S on their chest and they just disappear, you know, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know, I need that communication is very important. So once you find your
Yes.
tribe, once you find your team,
Yeah.
rock with it because yeah, you don't need those solid people that you can count on. Yeah. So
I mean, like there's a local credit union here, they do 102% loans,
yes,
and they're not my main go-to always, but for the right buyer, they're my go-to.
yes,
Right.
yes,
And
yeah,
so it's just important to really just understand
yes,
what's out there.
yeah.
Tracy, this has been oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, and they also there's different lenders that have in-house down payment assistance too. You got
That's right.
USB. So some of them they have their own thing, and I love the 100% finance. It's the same thing as down payment assistance. So just knowing what to say, I give people options, and some of
Yep.
them just get upset, but I give them options. Say, hey, I want you to apply with here are three different amazing lenders. They got different programs. See who fits you the best. Well, whose personality you like, whose energy you like, whose program you like, what works better for you. And if you ever have an issue, please let me know because it's something that, you know, because again, energy and vibes are very important. You know, just because something that they said may run you off from that person, don't let it run you off from Wells Fargo and that program. That program is a program
That's right.
to run. So a lot of times you have to educate your clients on that too.
That's right.
Cool.
Tracy, this has been good stuff. Thank you
Great.
so much for sharing. Hopefully people have ideas. I mean, there's business out there. We
Yes.
just
There
get to
is.
go create the business, right?
Great.
And this is just one way. So if you haven't done homebuyer seminar or homes owner seminar, I love that too. If you're looking for listings, because many times they're going to turn around and buy. So it's going to be the 2-for-1 scenarios a lot of times. So, great stuff, Tracy. Thank you
set
so much.
yourself
Thank you,
up.
Tracy.
You're
You
welcome.
set yourself up as the expert with these. You know, you're the
That's it.
go-to person. People will connect with you. That's what happens with these. So really great stuff, Tracy. Just a quick reminder, guys, tomorrow we'll be back. We'll talk more about this and anything you guys want to talk about next Tuesday. Nick Krim will be back. It's the first Tuesday of the month, so we'll have an AI class next week. That's always good. So join us then. But
You know,
Tracy,
I was thinking real
you.
quick, Tracy, on the AI stuff. Nick has been amazing. He taught us that. I'm so hung up on this Suno app. But like, imagine creating on your home buyer song, a song about create your home, a song about the home buying process, and that be your song that you're doing your ads to.
Yeah, well, my brother, funny enough that you say that, because my brother and my sister-in-law, they did a rap and ChatGPT wrote their rap for this West
There you
Tennessee.
go.
Yeah, it was so funny, and I was like cracking up. But he said ChatGPT wrote that rap, so definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you just put the words and the certain things you want it to have in there, about the upcoming homebuyer seminar, and it'll write you a whole song, and then you just put it to the genre that you want. So
I love it. I
okay.
love it. Yeah, and we
Anyway.
learned it all where? Right here. Don't
Right
miss these
here.
doggone calls.
Thank you,
That's
Tracy.
right.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks,
See y'all
everybody.
tomorrow.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
everybody.
I have a question real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead, Judy.
I have a client that is older and has like $500,000 equity in their home. The home needs some upgrades before it will sell for top dollar. But because of bad health and things, their credit is shot. So is there any program to pull equity so they can do the repairs on the house to sell it? That, they can use the equity alone? Or do you guys know of anything like that?
So I don't know if is it Ruby Ribbon or what is that? Something ribbon. I can't think of what that is. That comes to mind. The other thing that comes to mind is if it's going to be just for a short term. The other thing that comes to my mind is a local private lender. Like a hard money lender.
Yeah, we thought of that, and they were afraid that their house wouldn't sell, and then they would lose their home to the hard money lender. I'm not sure how that works. Would they go into payments or, did they ever do that?
I
You
mean,
get to
they're
pay that.
definitely, they're a lender and they do put a lien on the house or could put the lien on the house, for equity for their money, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
I would want to make sure that they're going to be real ready to, do what needs to be done and get their home on the market to sell it for the price that you're suggesting that they sell it for, and, give them the worst case scenario before I would have everybody do that, or even consider that. But that comes to mind. But there's a program out there. It's called something Ribbons. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I know of a ribbon that would come in and do cash, that would buy houses for cash. That's the last ribbon I know of. I don't know.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It's maybe that one. So I don't know if they would do any things to get it, allow any upfront money to get it set up or, fixed up.
I learned as a new agent that I thought anybody could tap into their, home equity, but I found out you can't get that HELOC if your house is not in good condition either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, I thought that your equity is your equity. So I had this girl that was in a bad place, and she said I couldn't get a home equity line of credit because my house is this, it needs so many repairs. I was like, get out of here. So,
Yeah.
and that's what these
So you
classes
can
are
get the
for.
money to, yeah. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed this. It's been
Yeah.
great. And I will try to do some research, something that says ribbons, see if I can find it.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Do that for a HELOC scenario, but it's worth a phone call anyway.
Sure.
And I think there's a website out there, maybe it's Private Lenders Club, I can't remember, but there's a website out there for private lenders that will, like Kathy said, it'll be a hard case, maybe high interest, but you got to do what you got to do when you put yourself in a bad place, and
Right.
you just got to pay the cost and just make sure you know your terms and get yourself out of there really quickly. 'Cause
Understand what you're.
if that money can get in there, you get the right contractors to fix it and get it back, then maybe they can get in a place where they get the HELOC and pay that off or whatever.
Pay it all off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Welcome.
You've been right.